YouTube and also LinkedIn. A very warm welcome to the Author Saga Series. A quick recap for those of you who are new to Pick a Book and catching up here for the first time. Pick a Book is all about reading and more reading and inculcating the habit of reading, research, and presenting the summary of it in our regular meeting sessions. Creating a better world by changing the sense of self through the habit of reading is the vision of Pick a Book. Currently, Pick a Book marks its inspiring presence in four countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, and UK, with over 1,500 plus readers and 22 plus regions and 100,000 plus people inspired so far through our sessions. Pick a Book continues to spread its wings across the globe. We have come up with this beautiful initiative, a brand of our own called Author Saga Series, wherein the authors can reach their readers and individuals with like-minded interests. Authors can also discuss key insights of their books with their readers, can have the opportunity to know more about the book from the author himself or herself. So quickly tonight, our guest is Arima Rathore. She's coming with her wonderful book, Scintillating Musings. Just to let you know a little more about Rama Rathore. Um, Miss Reema Rathore belongs to a small town in Jammu, India, and she is a budding poetess whose poems have the elements of lyric poetry, elegy, and free verse. Theme of her poems revolves around feelings, emotions, attributes, and nature in colloquial speech. A dreamer and an enthusiast who believes in growing and gaining with time. Reena is a trained teacher, a wife of a third generation army officer for the last 2 decades, and a mother of two adorable children. So anything related to art and creativity excites her. She is a hobby artist, a nature lover, a badminton fanatic, and a bakerpreneur. Writing poems is a passion and a way of expressing her deep thoughts and feelings. So, with that, let's welcome Reema Rathod.
Hi,
Hi,
Swarnim.
Reema.
Hi, it's Reena actually. So I'm Reena Rathore, and
Reena.
yeah,
Reena.
thank
Oh,
you,
okay.
thank you for
Okay.
having me here.
I'm sorry. I just
No, that's okay.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a
Uh,
pleasure.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So
Yeah,
you
and,
are from you have come from a beautiful place, isn't it? So Jammu
yes,
and Kashmir always
yeah,
excites in a
I
way.
belong to Jammu. It's a beautiful place, and
Yeah,
I'm so happy to be here in this live session. It's the first time for me, so I'm totally excited about it.
we are equally excited. Okay, so let me start with my question. Okay, this is
Just
your first.
just give me a second. I would
Mm,
like to express my gratitude and
oh,
heartfelt
sure.
thanks to Highbrow Scribes publication and Vandana in particular
Hmm.
for all this. Without
Okay.
her support and the publications, I wouldn't have been here. Thank you so much. Yes,
Exactly. So we are also so grateful to Vandana for for continually getting letting us know all such beautiful authors and engaging through this platform. As we are all in a way grateful to Vandana. So thank you so much, Vandana, on this. And okay, so first of all, Reena, it's a big congratulations to you on the success of this wonderful book,
thank
and
you.
we wish you a long way in writing.
Thank you. Thanks a ton.
Okay. So Reena, are you an avid reader from your childhood?
I used to read a lot, but now due to time constraints and my work, I'm
Okay.
not getting that much time. But yes, to a certain extent, I do read till now.
Okay. So it's like what was your favorite book when you
I
were a child?
used to love reading science
Mm.
fiction,
Ah,
and during my teenage days, I believe, like any other dreamer, any other school-going girl who loves romance and all that, those
Yeah.
things. I mean, they are very fond. I used to read a lot of romantic novels like Barbara Cartland and all.
Mm.
But science fiction has been one subject that I really enjoyed throughout
Yeah.
my life. Yeah.
So wonderful. Okay, so how did your journey as a writer start? When did you start feeling that I can write a book now? I can express through my words.
Writing a book, I never thought I would be doing that so soon. I mean, I've always been writing poems right from my childhood. As far as I remember, when I was in school, I used to write poems for certain newspapers for the kids' column. Later on,
Okay.
when I went into college, I would put up my articles in some of the newspapers. Then,
Okay.
after marriage, I would share my work in defense journals and like those kind of magazines and all. So compiling my work in the form of a book happened this year only.
Okay.
It was in February that I decided, and everybody around me, they pushed me. Okay, you must compile all the poetry that you've written. You must compile it in the form of a book. So it's something very new, and
Wonderful.
rest writing has been going on.
Great. Okay. So, is there any story, an interesting story behind choosing this title,
Uh,
Scintillating Musings?
Scintillating musings. Actually, these were we had a few titles in mind,
Okay.
and these compositions what I have compiled in this book are my own personal moments of spark, you can say, that motivated me to pen down my feelings.
Hmm.
So I looking at the I had made this portrait which is on the cover page. So looking at that, I mean, it was kind of something that scintillated my mind.
Okay.
So we chose this topic, scintillating musings, and I also wish and hope that the readers who are going through my book, they also have the same scintillating effect on their minds when they go through it. So that is how we chose this.
Wonderful. Hmm. Okay. So, what prompted you to choose only poetry? Write poetry.
Poetry for me is a very effective way of conveying my feelings, my emotions.
Hmm.
Um, I, you can say, it just happens naturally. Poetry to me comes very naturally. It's not something that I have to think about for many a long hours or for many days. I have to think, okay, I have to write a poem or something. It just happens naturally. So it
Okay.
was a very effective. Sometimes it becomes too difficult to express your feelings via speaking or
Hmm.
just conveying it. So poetry for me, it was a platform that I could convey all those deep feelings um,
Yeah.
effectively. That is how.
Exactly. More than words, the poetry has got some rhythm to it, so
Yes.
that captivates the audience.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. So is I mean, as the book is divided into varied subjects, right? Can you just give us a little brief for our audience?
I have written these poems have not been written in a span of 2 years or 1 year. I've been writing, as I told you, since
Okay.
a long time. So
Yeah.
the varied subjects about which I've written, I needed to compile them into sections to make it an interesting read. So
Okay.
yeah, we've categorized the book into five different categories,
Mm-hmm.
and one being paying tribute to our martyrs, our real life heroes, and saluting our soldiers, and also about the deep comradeship and bonding that exists among all postmates, especially in the defense forces. I've written
Okay.
about those. And
Mhm.
then the second category belongs to nature. It's all about nature, the bountiful blessings that we have, we get from the nature, and how we must and why should we appreciate and be sensitive towards our nature. It's all about that.
Yeah.
So that is the thing. The third category belongs to motivational poems.
Mm.
Those are the poems that would motivate an individual if they're going through rough times. One must never give up in life. That is
Yeah.
my perception. One must keep going in life, taking the first step. is what is difficult, and later on everything falls into place. One
Mhm.
must always enjoy the journey, and
Yes.
never lose hope. I mean, we all go through rough phases in life, but then eventually to rise above all that is what matters. So
Yeah.
certain motivational poems, then about family and the place that I belong. Ever since I've opened my eyes, I've seen the world. I have a defense background, wholly,
Okay.
completely. So I've seen the world not through rose colored spectacles, but through olive green spectacles, you can say. So yeah, so there's a set of poems that revolve around the campus area, my beautiful campus areas where I've stayed. I've spent my childhood and now the present
Mhm.
times that I'm living in those. So these are the different categories.
Wonderful. That's a good mix of all the things in life,
Yeah.
all the things that are necessary for life.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Okay, so there are, we come across through the book, beautiful pictures, right?
Yes.
So what is that? I mean, what is the story behind about these pictures? I mean, from your bio, I understood you're an artist as well. So those pics depict some meaning in it, or how is it? How do we take that?
Yes, I am a hobby artist. I've never gained any professional, you can say, any professional guidance regarding sketching
Okay.
and painting. I love colors, and that is why the variety in my poems is also because of the wide range of colors that I appreciate and I love. So I wanted to have a poetry book that was slightly different from the normal thing,
Mm.
and I paint, and they were going so well with the poems that I have written. So I thought, why not, let's have them, include them also to
Okay.
give a very nice, I mean, soothing effect to whoever is reading. They can see the
Yes.
pictures as well as having this. It was a new concept for me, a new experiment for me. So that is,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So it's all your hand painted ones, all
Yes,
the.
yes,
Oh, wonderful.
all of them.
Oh, that's a great. Super. Okay. See, from your perspective, a writer has to be a good reader or a listener. How do you, what do you say about it?
All three things are interrelated. You can never write if you are not reading well. The
Yeah.
diction will not fall into place. You will never be able to write if you're not listening well, because those are the
Mm.
things that eventually affect you. So all things are interrelated, all these three things. So one
Okay.
must be a good reader as well as a listener if he
Yeah.
wishes to write well. Anybody can be a poet, but to become a good poet you must have a knowledge of everything, I mean, all the other
Absolutely.
aspects as well.
Yeah. Very rightly said. One must be a good listener before anything else. Before he could become anything else, he has to be a good listener.
Yes. Absolutely.
Great. Okay. So like every writer, goes through this phase. Did you also ever encounter this writer's block? Somewhere you felt quitting, the entire writing journey, and if at all, if such thing happened, so how did you cope up with it?
To tell you frankly, I did have writer's block,
Mm-hmm.
but because of maybe due to lack of time or due to the work pressure or due to other commitments, you well, there are times when you don't feel like picking up a pen. You're so
Mm.
busy in your normal routine that you don't want to pick up a pen and isolate yourself from everything that is happening around. It did
Absolutely.
happen many a times, but then my family was the one who would push me again and again. No, you must continue, you must, you have a flair for it. That is what they think.
Yeah.
And it's something it, then eventually I realized it's a kind of therapy for me. I
Mm.
mean, I feel really relaxed after putting my thoughts into words and putting them on paper. I feel it
Yeah.
completely something that soothes my mind. So I said, okay, a
Yeah.
little effort has to be taken, but then not a permanent kind of writer's block I ever had. It was just a momentary phase, and I came out of it.
Wonderful. Right. I mean, I heard it from a lot of people saying, that the writing is, in a way, it gives you, it's like a therapy for a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it
It
is,
is.
right? Yeah, it's nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the point to grab. So, whenever you feel so low, you can just quickly, you need not be a professional writer. So, but still, you're to get a bit of relief or that, a little tense free, you can always pen down, scribble down your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, whatever it is. So, that definitely gives some sort of relief from what you're going through. So, am I right?
True, absolutely.
Great. Okay, so what is Reena Rathore before becoming an author and after becoming an author?
Life for me hasn't changed, but yes, I feel special now when anybody says they say that we've ordered a book from Amazon and we really liked it. I do feel special. Okay, my work, I mean, it's a different kind of feeling. I never felt that way before, but it's something new for me. Being You can understand easily
Yes,
being a
yes,
first timer into this, how
yeah,
special it is. So,
definitely.
and now I'm since I'm a published writer, you can say, so I am taking it as a responsibility that tomorrow when I put up a work, it has to be, I have to be very cautious about what I'm putting through, and I cannot just be having anything and on the paper and just scribbling it, and I need to be more responsible. That is what I feel. And
Exactly.
other other than that, I'm totally satisfied and contented with what I've achieved so far.
That's a blessing. As an author, it's a blessing to be an author because it's you can share your feelings or inspire somebody whom you doesn't know at all in the first place, and somebody somewhere sitting and reading your book can be inspired. So that's truly a bliss for any author. So I'm sure you must be enjoying that bliss.
I'm enjoying that.
Okay. So how do you write your poems generally? You create a kind of atmosphere around you, or you just like that, whenever you get a thought in your mind, you just put it on a paper, or you personally create a kind of atmosphere to pen down.
No, I don't. I think poetry doesn't happen like that. It's not a
Mhm.
novel that you're writing that you need to create an atmosphere, you need to be secluded from everything. It
Okay.
just happens, it comes naturally out. And yes, when I put up, when I'm touched by something in the environment, in the surroundings, I pen
Mhm.
it down randomly. It's not
Okay.
that I frame things and I plan something and then do it. I
Mm.
just put it down on paper, and later on, if I think it is worth uh, shaping into the form of a poem, I do it. I
Mm.
read it, I reread it, I then eventually I decide to edit it, and finally till the time I don't get a satisfactory text, I just go on with the thing. But it's
Okay.
never that I've secluded myself or put those dim lights and or gone out in the mountains and written a poetry. All these poems are written from my immediate surroundings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so your profile has got different shades of you. Like you are an artist. You bake. You are into writing. Everything, right? So how do you manage between these two? And what is your most favorite thing you do most of the times?
I enjoy doing whatever is in my hand. I love baking. I love painting. I
Okay.
have two children to look after. I'm My husband. He's in the armed forces. I have certain commitments towards that
Yeah.
area also, and I love teaching also. I'm a trained qualified
Oh,
teacher also.
wonderful.
So one thing is there that without time management, you cannot do more
Exactly.
than one thing. I mean, managing all these things, you
Mhm.
need to have proper time management. So I try to maintain that. And other than that, I think if you enjoy doing something, then there's no way that you can be stopped. You will just go for it. And when I'm
Absolutely.
doing something, especially the writing part, I focus on that. That is
Mm.
one thing. I totally focus on that. Then I leave other distractions aside.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is how.
Wonderful. Okay, so do you think that poets have to feel the emotions more strongly than others, to pen it down? or it just comes naturally for you people?
Okay, I feel that writing poetry does not mean writing just from the brain or whatever comes to your mind. It has to flow naturally from the heart. And whenever the heart is involved, obviously the emotions have to be deep. You need to feel, you need to be very sensitive about the topic that you're writing. You need to understand it completely and then pen it down. So,
Okay,
yes.
wonderful. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so would you like to, we want to hear, I don't know about, we just want to hear a few lines from your poetry. If
Yeah, sure, why not? I have first, let me show you the
book,
book
yes,
that I have.
that's lovely. That's lovely painting. Okay, the painting is also yours, is it?
Yes,
Ah,
it's scintillating, so scintillating musings was the thing.
that's very
Okay,
colorful.
okay, I would, shall I read it from the book?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Okay,
One
one
of
of
your
my
most
favorite,
favorite.
favorite poems. Like I told you that I've been living in a campus. I have a defense background,
Yeah.
so we have a lot of beautiful laburnum trees on our
Okay.
on the sides of the campus roads,
Okay.
and this is a poem specially written for that.
Hmm.
It's called Goldilocks,
Okay.
and yeah. So as I stroll on the campus road, inviting me is the avenue of laburnum gold. I stop for a while to admire the golden chain, the flowers hanging like drops of rain, the trees that seem to have been touched by King Midas, Goldilocks of the plant world, famous for their golden yellow flowers. Their plumate leaves gleefully hold the treasure. Gazing at them is a sheer pleasure. Some of my fondest childhood memories revolve around this golden shower tree, where its thick, juicy smell still makes me a wee bit dizzy. In the soaring temperature, with its pendulous inflorescence of canary yellow, it becomes conspicuous against the blue sky above and the green soil below. Intrudes any seemingly dull and inanimate environment, bringing it to life like a welcome siren. As I watch them stand in silence like a group of saints meditating, for a while I too am left, quiescent, almost hallucinating.
Amazing, amazing. That is so beautiful.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So, would you like to? I mean, I would like to hear one more poem that's you have written on
Okay.
motivation.
On motivation, okay,
Yes.
yeah, sure. Okay, this is a poem that I've written about the shades of life that we all come across. It's not always sunny and bright,
Yes.
and so we do come across different shades, and it's about this. Some things in life put you down. Sometimes all you do is sit and frown. Sometimes it feels uneasy to even wear a crown. Sometimes the world looks so dull and brown. That is the time to realize your worth. That is the time to celebrate your birth. That is the time to pack your pack. That is the time not to let your heart break and crack. A temporary phase that it is, though gives you pain and makes your forehead crease. Remember not to let your dreaming cease. This too shall pass, if you let it please. Just like a dewdrop on a grass blade, memories of disdain and sorrow will also fade. For life is all about sun and its shade. Always believe that for something special you were made.
Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. Exactly. Everybody is born for a reason.
Yes.
So all these things come and go. Great. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Reena. That's been so inspiring poems and so beautiful are there. So definitely would love to get this book. So ladies and gentlemen, the book is available on Amazon for all of you. Just go grab one and have fun reading it.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so before we close this down, Reena, I would like to have a piece of advice from you to this generation.
Okay, to the present generation, if you are planning to write a poetry book, so I would suggest just go for it, and don't wait for a tomorrow to come when you would be able to publish. Tomorrow is actually the present that you were dreaming of yesterday.
Yes.
So just gather yourself and just go for it. And it's not about only materialistic or other gains that you get after becoming a published poet or a
Mm,
writer. It's about enriching the life of the readers as well as enriching your own life.
yeah.
So get inspired and just go for the
Wonderful.
thing.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Great. Thank you so much, Reena, for your time and for
Thank you so
sharing with
much.
us such beautiful poems. We would love to go through all of them. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.